Hi, Mark here. Welcome to the channel. Today we have a Halloween video again because I want to do a Halloween tree this year. And I thought it'd be really fun if I made all the ornaments for it. So I thought it would also be cool if I showed you all how I made those ornaments so you could do it as well for your Halloween tree. I just didn't want to spend a ton of money on Halloween decorations or on holiday decorations in general this year. So I'm trying to be creative and do stuff and just make it and use things that I have, use things that aren't very expensive, and create something really fun with it. So I came up with 3 different styles of ornaments for this video, and there may be more. We'll see what I come up with or how much these fill up the tree and what else I need to put on it. But I will have another video showing me decorating the tree. So stay tuned for that as well, because we need to finish decorating the sunroom, because if you watched my last video with the ghost garland, that was the first decoration I made for that room, and it inspired me to keep going. So follow along, and I hope you make some of these at home for your Halloween. I thought I would show you how I did the jack-o'-lantern ornaments first. So I just went online, found an image I liked, printed it out. I put it in Word so I could enlarge it or shrink it however much I wanted, and then printed them out onto cardstock. Then you're going to cut those out. You could use witch faces, witch hats, black cats, whatever image you want. And then I'm tracing it onto another piece of cardstock because I want the backs to not be plain white. So I'll trace it out and then glue those together so that I'll have a nice, kind of Halloween-ish background on it. And when you glue those together, again, I recommend using the glue stick, not a liquid glue or a hot glue, because the cardstock will warp. And when you glue the 2 pieces together, what I did was cut, I don't know, maybe that's about 8 inches or so of ribbon, and I double it. And then I glue that in between the two layers. That's going to let you tie this onto your tree. If you just did a loop, then I always find that a little bit difficult to hang, if it's a continuous loop, because then you're looping it over and it's maybe hanging lower than you want it to. But if you do it like this, you can tie it exactly where you want it on the tree. So there you go. Then after you do that, you get your glitter pipe cleaners, and you're going to hot glue them around the edge. I think I'm going to start on the bottom here. Just running a small bead of hot glue. And that's what's going to give it that super vintage vibe. So you're going to just glue that all around. And hot glue works best for this. I got these pipe cleaners I think I got these at Michael's. You can usually find, if you just want silver or gold, those are pretty easy to find at a Michael's or, a craft store. And they usually have them in, large packs when it's just the simple colors. So you can see once you get that tinsel pipe cleaner around there, it really gives it that vintage look and makes it feel really special when it, costs you your ink and the paper you printed it out on. And then, a little bit of ribbon. You can get a spool of this for a couple dollars, and the pipe cleaners. So a really fun, inexpensive way to fill up some space on your Halloween tree. Next, I'll show you how I made these little candy ornaments. I chose the houndstooth fabric because I thought it looked kind of witchy and kind of different for something like this, because you would normally see it in something maybe like a silver lame or something. But yeah, you could pick any fabric you want and it would really change the look of it. But you can apply this technique to anything. But you start with these clear plastic balls that you get for Christmas ornaments that, they're fillable. I think if you search fillable plastic ornament on Amazon, they'll come up. They also sell these at Michael's. And you can get them in all different sizes. This is about 3 inches in diameter. And I had these left over from another project, so I'm just using those. Then you want to, I just kind of roughly measured how much fabric I would need to wrap around it, and then also fold under the edge to make it a little bit cleaner. And then figured out how much I wanted it to extend on each side for the little wrapper part. And I added a little extra because I knew I wanted to fray this fabric out and kind of give it this fringe and make it a little rough looking. So that's what you do. And then I make sure that the hanger part is off to the side, because when you wrap it, it's going to get in the way otherwise. And you're not going to use that to hang them anyway. You can either just tuck these into your tree, or you can sew or glue a ribbon on to hang them, you know, from the end. So they hang north, south, or east, west, whichever way you want to do it. But all you're going to do is run a little bit of hot glue and secure it roughly in the middle. And then I wrap this up, tuck under the raw edge, and a little bit more glue there. So after I glue it to the plastic ball, then you're going to want to gather up the ends and tie it. I find the easiest way to do this is to actually do it kind of loose at first with some ribbon. Like, you're not going to make it as tight as you want it to be. You can use wire to do that, but I just kind of start it and tie it in a bow, because you're going to take these off. And then another one. Emmett pushes the door open whenever he would like to come in. Emmett's my little dog, in case you don't know or haven't seen him in other videos. And I kind of do that, just kind of pull it. Then I'll take a piece of wire, come back, and get it tighter. You just kind of tighten that, and then I'm going to untie that ribbon. I kind of pull it out to kind of work that through and push that down a little bit more and pull the excess fabric through so you get that nice round shape. You see what I'm saying? And this is a little fiddly, and you just sort of have to work with it until you get it where you want it to be. There you go. And then you're going to take, I'm going to just knot those ends and clip that off, that excess. And if you're using a fabric that frays, you could either use pinking shears on the edges, or like this is pretty loosely woven, so I'm just going to pull threads till I get kind of this fringe happening how I want it to. You see how it kind of just opens it up? And I'll take another fabric and do the final little tie on them. I thought this tool was kind of neat looking to do something, add another texture to it. But you could easily just use another ribbon. This was just fabric strips that I cut, but I kind of liked that look. Because again, it kind of has like this little witchy candy vibe, which is kind of fun and unexpected. And there are your little candy balls, little jawbreakers, or I don't know what they would be. Maybe gumballs, although gumballs don't usually come wrapped, but you know, it looks like that penny candy. And then for the bat bows, I started off with a shape kind of like this. Well, not kind of. I started off with this shape. And I just drew this freehand, but if you want to take a screenshot, these squares are 1 by 1 inch, and you could duplicate that. But really what you want to do is just basically draw bat wings, but leave yourself room in the middle, because that's what you're going to pinch to make it into you know, the bow, right? Then I took a fabric that I liked. I liked this sparkly sort of lame fabric that I had, but it frays a lot and it's not very thick. So I used a fusible webbing that you just get and you just iron it on to the fabric and it stiffens it up, right? It's much stiffer. And then I could trace my bat pattern onto the back of it a lot easier. So I just used a pencil to trace this on this, you know, piece of fabric that I used the fusible webbing on. So if you did not want to use the webbing, you could easily do that with, you could make these out of felt or faux leather. That would be really cool. Or just something that's really tightly woven that doesn't fray a whole lot. And so what we're going to do is cut these out, and then I will show you the next step. If you didn't like the white on the back of these, you can sometimes find interfacing in black. Or you could just, I had white, so that's why I used it. But if you wanted to take some fabric paint and paint that, you could, if it's going to bother you. Or you could, you know, double them and just glue them together. So you know, and then trim them so they match, and then crimp them. But I'm going to just leave them like this because I think it's going to be just fine. And then what you want to do is you sort of pleat them. So you want to go push that towards the back first, and then you can make another one. You're just sort of pinching it, and you're pinching it, and then you want to end it again with that, the right side sort of going towards the back. So it sort of looks like that. So you do that, and then you take a little bit of florist wire. I have some leftover little scraps of it from Christmas decorations. And then you just wrap it around. And then you can kind of finagle it a little bit how you'd like. And then there's your bat bow. Then I think I'm going to take, and what you could do is glue a button in the middle there, or you could take another, you know, a piece of fabric and wrap it around to hide that wire. You could also add, you know, tails to this if you wanted it to be, you know, like a bow with streamers on it. But there you go. And then the wire will let you hang it up or wire it into your tree. Or wreath. You could use these in a wreath too. That would actually be really cool, I think. But I think I'm going to do a button on mine. So we'll see. But there you go. And then you kind of have this little, you know, pick that you can stuff in the tree. So the button is cute, but I have these. I found these that my mom actually found me at a thrift store. It was a broken piece of jewelry. It was a broken bracelet, I think. So we're going to do this instead. And we're just going to glue it right in the middle. I think that's pretty daggone cool. Kind of looks Victorian. Yeah, I dig it. Got another one of these. And I have a little smaller version of that too that was off that same bracelet. So they don't have enough. I want to do 13 of these bat bows, and I only have 6 of the large ones. There's 6 of these large jewels, so we're going to use the small ones too. But it's pretty. It adds a little bling to your tree in an unusual way. So there you have it. There are 3 different ornaments that you can make for a Halloween tree of your very own. I'm super excited to get the tree decorated and show you all that. And I think we're going to do a video just showing just me decorating the tree. So I think that'll be really cool. Comment down below what your favorite ornament was and if you're going to make any of these. And be sure to like and subscribe. I'm already past 100 subscribers, so thank you so much to everybody who has been watching and subscribed. It's super exciting to see the channel growing, and I want to keep it going. So thank you so much to all of you who are watching and coming back, and to all of the new people that are coming with each video. Really appreciate it. So we will see you in the next one. Take care. Happy Halloween.